Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Netflix, it's down 2.61%, so big sell-off here on Netflix, and you can see right here that we're actually breaking down from this range, this consolidation pattern, and now down to almost 50-day moving average right here, this red line, which is flat. So there is support around 664, and that is what Netflix holding into closing. But below that, we also have support down here. That's going to be near 660 right here, this red line, 50-day moving average. And under that, you're going to see a flush down to 636 and then critical support down here at 630. Now, given the fact that we do have CPI coming out next week on Wednesday, that's going to be something to watch, especially for these big mega cap stocks. And Netflix here, just like every other stock, I mean, we got pretty much close to all-time highs, over 700, and now pulling back. So we can definitely afford a pullback on a big stock like Netflix. If this thing actually gets under 50-day moving average, you can see now it's trading below these three moving averages. 5-day, 13, and 20-day. And now, if this thing cracks under 50-day, you're going to see a lot more selling, as you're seeing on Apple, Microsoft, Google, and some of the other names. This one can come down quite a bit, and I mean quite a bit, because this thing actually, went up straight. You can see right here, and then it was trading around 700 for multiple days, and now it's breaking down. So yes, expect more downside here on Netflix. Soon as this thing gets under 664 and then takes out this 50-day moving average, you're going to see a flush down to 636, 630, and maybe even much lower from there. Now to the upside, there will be resistance at 677 20-day moving average, 680, and then 688 right here. Over that, you're going to see 700, and I don't think that's the case. You're going to see 700 going into next week. On AMD, it's down 3.65%, so big sell-off right here on AMD, and pretty much trading near the lower Bollinger Band, which is sitting at close to 131. So we do have support down here. You can see this lower Bollinger Band, and it's getting really oversold. So yes, we might see some sort of a counter trend rally back up to, I would say, maybe 138 to 5-day moving average. This one, blue line, 140, and that is it for next week. Unless we get over 140, in that case, watch out for a move up to 145.88 to retest 20-day moving average, and then 148. Below 138 to 140, guys, this thing can come down all the way down to 131 and under this lower Bollinger Band. And as the time goes on, this Bollinger Band will come down even more. In that case, we might see a retest of this low down here, which is near 122. So watch out. 131 gives up. The next support 125, 122, and then 118 on AMD. To the upside, it needs to get over 138, 140, and over 140, you're going to see a move up to 145.88 and then 148. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And you can see, I mean, I just turned it on, and you can see recession is actually trending right now. So that is something big. A lot of people are talking about it. And we're not going to know until we're actually in a recession. So that's what's probably happening right now. We don't even know that we're in a recession, or at least the recession is getting started, guys. Now, with that being said, especially if you're serious about trading and you want to get trade ideas like this one that I actually shared on Friday, you can see right here, DIA pretty much showed it at the top. 411 got 410 puts, and this one went through the roof within just maybe about an hour or so. You can see not even an hour, and it was down to like 407. So this was a fantastic opportunity. We shorted, we made money, and then there was more money because we closed at like 404 on Dow Jones. Now also this play right here on PayPal, that is a swing trade. You can see that I got in at 820 2024, $70 puts, and this thing also went through the roof. It was trading at 68, took some profit, still holding a lot of puts on PayPal, and I'm expecting a move down to 66 to 65 bucks. And I'm only sharing a few trade ideas here. Here's another one, Tesla, guys. We talked about it that it was looking bullish, bull flag breakout. Well, we played the breakout to the upside and then shorted. Not here. This was at 234. I got in here on Tesla, 220 puts, and I took some profit same day at 225. And what happened on Friday, guys? Massive dump off. Tesla puts went through the roof. So all these trade ideas, and especially if you guys are serious about trading, I'm talking about serious people that are actually looking to trade and make money in this market, want to learn, and they want to stay in here with trading for a long time, then definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. And I'm telling you, you're not gonna be disappointed joining my Patreon. On Amazon, stock is down 3.65%. So Amazon was looking really good right here into closing on Thursday. And you can see, I mean, this thing flipped. And not only we took out 173, now trading at 171, pretty much trading below all these moving averages, and none of them are actually going higher at this point. We got 20-day, which is kind of flat. 5-day and 13-day rolling over and coming down. 50-day definitely not a positive slope, so that is actually a bear trend right here on Amazon. And I think under 173, just like we're seeing on every other stocks hitting lower Bollinger Band, it can come down to 167 early as Monday morning. That can happen on Amazon. So Amazon here definitely not looking good with this big bearish engulfing candle. There might be more downside. And now there will be strong resistance at 173, and over that watch out for 175.43, these two moving averages, and then we might be retesting 180, but I think that is highly unlikely that we go up there and retest 180 this week. You can see, I mean, the trend is down, moving averages are coming down. These are not positive slope, so I think under 173 you're going to see 167 and maybe a retest of this low down here. That could be in play, guys. A lot of people not thinking about this because we saw that quick flush early in the morning, and that day I actually bought Apple and things went to the moon immediately. But I think that was really quick. Algos reacted and they bought the dip immediately. Market opened and it was like, yes, it was a big sell off right out of the gate, but then dip buyers came in, algos came in, and we bought up the dip and market went higher. But I think we might be going down to retest these lows down here, and if that's out, we might be making a new low, but we have no confirmation yet. All we got here is a bear trend, and you can see these moving averages are definitely not positive slope, especially the 50-day. And now that we got this bearish engulfing candle, we might see price going much lower here on Amazon. On Google, stock is down over 4%. So Google I actually played on Friday, but immediately within minutes I got stopped out right here on Google. And where I actually got in, this thing dumped. After I got stopped out, this thing dumped another like $3 4. So that is why whenever I said that you gotta have a stop loss, you gotta have it, guys. I mean, especially people that are day trading. If you don't have a stop loss, you don't have a game plan, you're not gonna make money. You might get lucky here in this market gambling, but you don't have a stop, you don't have a game plan. Guess what? Trades like this can actually become hell for you because you don't have a stop, and then things keep just coming down and you're just buying more or just waiting and hoping. There is something called hope in this market. A lot of people say, oh, I hope it comes back up, I hope this thing goes down so I can make money on puts. There is no hope. You gotta put a stop loss in place soon as you buy it, and especially on a day like Friday where we saw a big sell off on big names, you gotta have a stop loss. Otherwise you're gonna get really wiped out buying one position and holding it, especially a couple hours. And if the trend is down and things are not bouncing, where are you going to sell it? The more time you hold, losses are going to be bigger and bigger. So I got out really quickly. I think it was like 15 or 17%. I took a loss on it and got out. And then if I was holding, it would have been like 50% loss or maybe even more than that. That is why when you day trade and you buy these names, you got to get out really quickly. So not all the time, all the trades are winning trades. And that is why you have a stop loss. And if the stop loss hitting, you gotta get out at the right time. So you can see, I mean, Google now extremely oversold. Big name like Google trading well below lower Bollinger Band, which is sitting at 155, and we definitely got this bear flag playing out. And I think we might be going down to 148. That can play out before getting any kind of bounce back up to the upside. So going into next week on Monday, 155 will be resistant to watch on Google stock. Over that, watch out for a move up to 158.45 and then 162, and then this gap comes into play 163.41. As long as Google trades under 155, I think there is more selling to come, and possibly this thing will come down to 148. And don't forget, we have this gap down here at 144.34, so that can come into play as well next week on Google. On Tesla stock is down 8.45%. So you guys saw that play on Tesla. That was Thursday over upper Bollinger Band. I actually showed it right here at 234, got some puts, and I took profit on half of my position on Thursday. I think it was at 226. And then this thing went back up, closed at 230. My position was still green, and I kept my position. And look at what happened on Friday. Massive dump off. The puts went through the roof. So this was a fantastic short opportunity right here on Tesla. And you can see, yes, we got that bull flag breakout, but when overall market is coming down, everything is selling up. It does not matter, how bullish the chart is looking in whatever the trend is. Even Amazon was looking really good, right? What happened? Well, market did not allow Amazon or even stock like Tesla to move higher on Friday, and we got this massive bearish engulfing candle, and now it's actually under all these moving averages. We broke under 212, so that is not looking bullish. And last time we got a candle similar to this one right here, we pretty much topped right here, and then we saw that big sell-off all the way down here to 183. So going into Monday's session, there will be resistance at 212. Over that, watch out for right here. That's going to be around a 217, I would say, and over that 223 and then 230. Now under 212, this thing can come down. You can see lower Bollinger Band down here at 195.77. So I think under 212 you'll see 200 and possibly even 195.77, and from there we could be retesting these lows down here, which is near 183. On Meta, it's down 3.21%. So Meta, massive bearish engulfing candle. And let me tell you guys something. What happened here? We got that similar candle and then big dump off down to 452, actually under 452, more like 442. Another bearish engulfing candle. We saw the follow through all the way down to 452, under 452. Now, I'm still holding my Meta puts that I got at 538. This thing came back, went higher, hitting a brand new all-time high. I kept my position, took only, profit on few puts on Meta, and still holding a decent position here on Meta. And I think overall in next few weeks, going into even next month, and who knows, you can see the yield curve actually going above the zero line, and now we have the CPI. Lots of things are happening, and usually when they actually do rate cuts, these times are not really that bullish because something is broken inside, and we just don't know. We'll find out very soon. We don't know yet. Only J. Powell knows, government knows. We don't know because we don't have those data that they have. They're only putting out what they want to put out, guys. Let me just make that simple. So until you're on a recession, you're not gonna know. So we don't know anything yet, and I think we'll know very soon. So if that is actually going to play out at some point, yes, we went to brand new all-time highs here on Meta and some of the other names, and now I think we can even afford a pullback. And I think it's gonna be fair value if Meta gets down to 400. It's okay, and that's why I think that's gonna be buying opportunities for a lot of traders like us, retail traders, investors, because how much money are you gonna make buying at 500? It's better to buy cheap and sell when this thing rips back up to the upside, right? So that is why that position is still gonna stay on, and I think there is going to be more downside, and those are not going to expire anytime soon. A lot of people I see nowadays, they buy weekly calls, weekly puts, just 1 week or 2 weeks out, most cases 1 month. Some of these plays that I have, and I know not everybody will play these because it costs a lot of money. Like 5 months out, 6 months out, some cases like 1 year out. Why I'm buying all that time? Well, the reason here buying all that time, because what if this thing pops and goes up another $20? Worst case scenario, I'll come back. I'll be at break even by then. I'm not gonna lose a big amount of money. But you can see now my position is up like from 538 entry. This thing is down almost $40. So for me to hit my stop loss here on Meta, it's got to go over 544, and then I'll get out. Maybe take a small loss, but I'm not gonna take profit here and celebrate this victory, because my target is much lower. If that were to happen in next couple of weeks, or maybe even next couple of months, because I have a lot of time here on Meta. So these are safer way to play even on calls. Like if things are beaten down and the trend is down, you're buying calls weeklies, it's not going to pay you next day. So you got to buy time, because if you cannot afford shares, obviously a lot of people like us, we can just go and buy thousands of shares of Meta. So, we buy calls or puts, right? Depending on the situation, if it's overbought, we buy puts. If it's oversold and there is a good opportunity or it's a breakout, we buy calls, right? So, a lot of things into play. And that is why buying longer time on a longer play always pays off. And that's what I do, especially with my trading. Now, Meta, you can see 500 holding, we're actually trading under lower Bollinger Band, and the Bollinger Band actually coming down. So now there will be resistance at 505. Over that, you're going to see a move up to 512, 5D moving average, which is at a negative slope, and then 520. Under 505, this thing can dump down to 490, and from there, we might see Meta going down much lower, like 470 to even 452. On Microsoft is down 1.64%, so everything is breaking down as of right now. And it's not looking too good, especially for the market when we have big names like Microsoft, and we got Google, we got Amazon, Tesla, everything breaking down except Apple. And I think Apple is the only one holding up okay right now. And that is because of the new phone and the new event and all that. But I think even Apple is going to sell off later on, and we might see Apple coming down to that low that we saw on August 5th. So Microsoft here, we talked about it Thursday night that I think it might come down to 400. Well, it actually delivered bottom of this channel or bull flag. Well, I don't think this is going to be a big of a bull flag anymore because of how things are breaking down. One after another bearish engulfing candle, and now critical support at 400, and you can see pretty much holding on to lower Bollinger Band actually right here at 401.73, and under 400 I think you're going to see 395 to even 385, this low down here from August 5th. Now to the upside, 400 can hold, we might see some sort of a relief rally, and where things can go, watch out for a move up to 409, and over that 413, and I don't see Microsoft going over 413 next week unless we get a really good CPI report, and that should actually take Microsoft over 413. Otherwise, I think it's going to trade around, maybe under 400, or possibly we'll have a counter trend rally up to 409 to 413. On Apple, stock is down 0.70%. So Apple is the only stock holding up this entire market. And I think there is an event and also a new phone coming out very soon. So Apple here, guys, I mean, if this thing is actually coming down to retest these lows down here from August 5th, there's going to be much bigger selling here in this market. Also keep that in mind, just like on SPY, weekly or even daily, this might be a double top. We have no confirmation until this low is taken out. And if that's taken out, I mean, this thing can go down in a big way. So now you know how Apple does. Before event, before a new phone, usually stays up, usually goes green, but then after that event, it might come down, and you might see a lot more selling on Apple stock, because we saw Apple coming down, what it was like 15-20 bucks that day, and then look at that candle. I mean, huge, massive green candle from 196. When I bought those calls down here, right at opening, this thing went up to 220. So that is like what, $14 bounce back up to the upside immediately. So the sell-off actually never took place. the dip buyers, algos immediately came in and bought up the dip, and this thing went back up. And now there might be a lot more selling because now it's trading under all these moving averages and the trend is going down. Not quite down like the other ones, I would say like Google, but it's definitely not looking good. And now Apple takes out 220, the next stop 216, and under that this Bollinger Band will roll over. You're going to see this Bollinger Band coming down. And if that happens, 207, and then we might be retesting 198 to 200, and then maybe in this low down here, 196. And that is where you got to be careful because this double top can play out right here. Now, if this is just a normal sell off, it's not gonna come down here, then it needs to hold 220. It needs to get over 225 right here. Over that, you're going to see Apple going back up to 230. Until then, guys, I mean, this was also a really nice shorting opportunity on Friday. Unfortunately, I did not short Apple because, I already have a short position on Apple, which I got in at 232, and that is green by a lot. So, I don't want to open another new position here. I did not short, and now this thing got a rejection off of this resistance right here and came back and now holding 220. So 220 gives up. There will be a lot more selling, and considering everything hitting lower Bollinger Band, I think Apple might be hitting 216 going into next week. On Nvidia, stock is down over 4%, so big name like Nvidia coming down and getting under 107. We talked about it in my video Thursday night, and even right here on Tuesday, I believe that Nvidia can come down, possibly come down and fill this gap right here near 68. And a lot of people, I guess, they're in a denial where Nvidia cannot come down; it has to go up. Nvidia is a bullish stock, and it's just gonna go up because making money on Nvidia was really easy. You buy, it goes up. You buy, it goes up. And there is that dip, and you buy it, it goes up. You buy it, it goes up, right? It was just going up all the time. So making money was really easy on Nvidia stock, and it's not anymore. It can get really difficult in near future because a lot of people nowadays, what they see is 1 minute chart, 5 minute, maybe even 15, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and then daily. When I was talking about Nvidia a couple months ago, when this thing was hitting all-time highs, I was talking about monthly and quarterly chart. And I've been talking about it for the last maybe 5 months, even before the split, that Nvidia is overvalued and really overhyped, and I think price is going to come down. Now, lots of people don't seems to agree with that. They think Nvidia only goes up. And no offense to anybody, I'm just uh, giving you guys what's happening here and what I think about Nvidia. So when you see monthly and quarterly time frame and you see the RSI of the page, do you think you better off staying on Nvidia as a bull or a bear? When Nvidia monthly and quarterly chart was really showing that Nvidia is oversold back in 2022 bear market, when this thing was getting crushed, I didn't say the same thing that Nvidia, should be coming down even more, and I was against it. I said, a lot of people, they were calling for Nvidia going down to like $60. Some people talking about going down to like 80, 50, and I said Nvidia is a huge buying opportunity because I was looking at the longer time frame. And same thing I did here. And when you look at monthly and quarterly chart, these don't really play out the next day. It might go up even more. It's gonna stay overextended for months. Quarterly, that's 3 months, right? So it takes time. Just because it's not playing out does not mean that it's just gonna go up and it's not gonna play out. Usually, I mean, you guys can go and look at the monthly and quarterly and, just put a comment and say, hey, you are right or wrong. I don't see the RSI off the page. It was off the page. And now you can see it's cooling off and it might be cooling off even more. So now, and then the expectation on Nvidia stock, especially with earnings, it's like through the roof. It has to be really good. They have to beat everything. One slight miss, and that's going to spark a big selling because the CEO pumped it so much, talking about it so much, like how well they're doing as a business. Now, there is no like they don't have a hole where he can say like, oh, I missed this but I did this. No, it has to be really good. And if it's not good, investors, not, I'm not talking about us retail traders, investors, big investors, they're not gonna like it. They didn't like this earnings, especially even with the beat, because they want more than that. Expectation is so high because he pumped it so much, is so high that now even if they beat, it can still go down. And you can see, I'm not making things up. You can go and look at the earnings. It was good, but it's still going down. And why? Well, it did not meet the expectation of investors. They were expecting like they were expecting before, like every quarter is going up more and more. The profit, revenue, everything is like really good, and it's not anymore. And especially if we go through a recession, why these rate cuts are coming, why things are happening, in especially when the market hitting all-time highs multiple times, things can happen. Now, I'm still not saying Nvidia will crash, because we will see it in the chart. We take out this low, then I'm gonna say yes, this gap is in play. It's gonna happen. But you can see we're not too far off from this gap, only like $10 away, $10, $12 away. And if this is actually high, lower high, and this is another lower high, we might be taking out this low. And like I said, I mean, it can come down. Now, just because I'm saying Nvidia should come down, we should get a better price so we can buy it. These are buying opportunities, huge, huge buying opportunities. We can buy it, we can make lots of money on a stock like Nvidia. Look at Apple. Do you think I'm gonna grab Apple at 220? I don't care if it goes to 300. I'm not gonna chase it. That's just me. That's not how I trade, because chasing is the worst thing for retail traders and investors, and we like to chase. I see a lot of people chasing, and I know as I make this video, and I see a lot of people watching, and there is a lot of people out there. You can comment, and I know they bought right here. They bought right here at 130. They bought at 124. Some people probably bought at 136. 132, and these average are really bad because you bought really close to all-time highs. So you're pretty much buying at the top, and now you're underwater, big time. So, when is the right time to buy big names? You guys saw that. I saw that dip on August 5th. I bought the dip. But why I did not hold and go long? Because I don't think, near the top or close to the all time highs, this is actually good. So, when that would be good, especially to go long and hold, when this thing comes down a bit more and it goes under $1,000 a piece. Right now, it's still trading over $1,000. So Nvidia is a great opportunity. It's a good company. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but expectation is so high. The CEO pumped the stock up so much. Now everything has to be really good. If not, it's gonna sell off, and it can continue. It can continue again. So going into next week on Monday, 107 now. That's gonna be a resistance to watch. Over that, we might see 113, but I don't think that's going to happen next week. Now, under 107, we might see selling down to right here, $96. That's going to be the next stop, and then this low down here at 90, and below that, Nvidia can go much, much lower, but I think we might see some sort of a bounce, early next week. And if the CPI is good, we might be trading over 107. If not, we might be retesting this low down here, which is at 90. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated Monday night